What's up, fam? It's your girl, Mrs. Tony Two Times, and I'm back with another video. In this episode of Hood Tales, I'll be taking it to Silver Spring, Maryland, to discuss the heinous plot between twin sisters Leaundra and Lemae Matthews and two others to end their younger brother's life. But before we get into this video, welcome if you're new here to our channel, and welcome back to all of our subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do so and join the Tony Two Times family. Go ahead and click that notification bell to get notified every time we upload. And if you're rocking with the content, don't forget to hit that like button. Feel free to share this video. Make sure you watch until the end to hear the full story. All right, let's jump right into it. According to psychotherapists, twins have a very special bond where they generally share the kind of us against the world mindset. They don't usually question what the other one wants, needs, or feels, even if they don't personally agree. Most twins don't think of themselves as individuals. They think of themselves as a pair. In other words, twins will usually ride for each other no matter what. And for 19-year-old twin sisters, Leaundra and Lemae Matthews, that bond would be put to the test when Leaundra commissioned Lemae to help her in a plot to end the life of their younger brother, 17-year-old Christian Matthews, in 2017. According to reports, Leaundra and her younger brother Christian had an ongoing feud. They seemed to get into it with each other often. Christian was known at times to be involved in fights and robberies while in high school. He didn't always associate with the best crowd. Some would even describe him as volatile and unpredictable. Not only was Christian and Leaundra feuding, but Christian also didn't care for Leaundra's baby father, 19-year-old Tyshawn Lipford. Leaundra and Tyshawn shared an 18-month-old daughter together, and Leaundra was expecting their second child together, a baby boy. Tyshawn, although he primarily lived with his mom, would spend time at Leaundra and her family's home in Silver Spring. According to Tyshawn's recollection, when it was just him and Christian, they would get along. But when Christian was with his friends, he would make threats towards him, which Tyshawn said he would usually ignore. According to some people who knew Christian and Leaundra, Christian was the one supposedly afraid of Leaundra and Tyshawn, and would supposedly be fearful of Tyshawn or Leaundra harming him. But according to Leaundra, Christian had threatened her and her baby. Tyshawn at some point also overheard these threats towards his pregnant girlfriend and child. When the tension began to escalate, Leaundra believed it was time for Christian to go. Leaundra had previously tried to move out but was unsuccessful. She asked her mother to kick Christian out of the home, but their mother refused to do so. A short time later, as Leaundra, Lemae, Tyshawn, and his friend Daniel Howard were discussing Christian, Leaundra said she wanted her brother gone. On Tuesday, March 21st, 2017, around 2:25 a.m., a call came in to the Emergency Communications Center reporting a suspicious situation in the 1000 block of Mondrian Terrace. When officers responded to the home, they found an unresponsive teenage male in the resident's basement. The teenager was transported to a local hospital where he was pronounced gone. The teenager was identified as Christian Matthews. Christian's twin sisters were in the home and heard a loud commotion coming from the basement where Christian slept. When officers found Christian, he had suspicious marks on his neck. An autopsy later revealed that Christian passed away from asphyxiation. His passing was ruled a homicide. 2 days later, detectives arrested Tyshawn Lipford. During an hours-long interview with detectives, he admitted to slaying Christian by holding him in a chokehold until he was unconscious. He admitted to wearing latex gloves during the slaying, which he told police he disposed of in a storm drain nearby the home. Tyshawn's DNA was found on the gloves as well as at the scene of the crime. In 2019, Tyshawn was convicted of second-degree hit and sentenced to 30 years in prison. But Tyshawn's conviction was just the tip of the iceberg in Christian slaying. 2 years after her brother's slaying, Leaundra admitted to her mother and aunt the role she played in Christian's demise. While watching an episode of the TV show I Almost Got Away with It, Leaundra unremorsefully confessed with a straight face, saying it had to be done. She told her mother he had to go because he wasn't going to stop. Her mother asked if the plan was to just hurt Christian. Leaundra replied, "No, because you already know how Christian is. You know that if he was going to get into a fight, it wasn't going to stop him." The mother relayed her daughter's confession to detectives. Leaundra's twin sister, Lemae, also played a role in the plot to slay Christian. Tyshawn's friend, 25-year-old Daniel Howard, allegedly helped Tyshawn in slaying Christian. In September 2021, Montgomery County Police announced arrest and first-degree hit charges against Leaundra, Lemae, and Daniel. They were all arrested after detectives compiled enough evidence to prosecute them. In October 2021, Lemae, 4 years after her brother's slaying, pleaded guilty to being an accessory after the fact. In a statement from Lemae that was read in court, she said that her brother and twin sister were having arguments and that Christian was angry that Tyshawn was the father of Leaundra's baby. Lemae said that Leaundra wanted Christian gone. Leaundra asked Lemae to watch her baby the night of the slaying and told Lemae she was going to pick up Tyshawn and Daniel to bring them to the family's house. Lemae said she told them that they were coming over to handle Christian. Lemae said she knew that they wanted to end Christian's life, but Lemae said she hoped that they would just beat Christian up instead. Lemae said later that night, Leaundra asked her to make sure that Christian was in his room in the basement. Lemae said when she went down to Christian's room, she saw him in the bed with the covers over him and presumed he was asleep. After that, Daniel and Tyshawn arrived at the house. Lemae said she noticed that both put on rubber gloves and watched them go downstairs to the basement. Lemae said she heard the commotion and thought she heard Christian yelling, "Stop." After that, Lemae took the baby out to Leaundra's car. Then, Daniel and Tyshawn ran out of the house and also got into the car. Leaundra was also in the car. With everyone present, Daniel allegedly told everyone to stay silent about what happened. Lemae said after arguing with Leaundra, the sisters agreed that Lemae would call 911. Lemae said in her statement, Leaundra told her exactly what to say on the 911 call and what to tell police when they interviewed her. Lemae said she lied to 911 and the police because she was scared of what Daniel would do if she told the truth. Lemae was released on bond and placed on house arrest while awaiting her sentence. Lemae agreed to testify against her twin sister and Daniel Howard. In August 2023, Leaundra went to trial for the slaying of her brother Christian. Text messages between Leaundra and her children's father, Tyshawn, revealed the devious plot to end Christian's life. A text message from Tyshawn's iPod told Leaundra to let him know when Christian was home. In another text message, Tyshawn initially wanted to do it earlier in the night, but Leaundra disagreed. She texted her boyfriend, "And y'all idea is not a good idea, trust me. I'm not gonna let y'all do it if y'all don't do it how I said, cause it's a whole bunch of stuff y'all ain't think about." She reportedly went on to say that there would be fewer potential eyewitnesses later at night. Leaundra also told them to make it look like a robbery. Leaundra unlocked the back door and left them disposable gloves for them to use. They waited outside until Christian was asleep. After the slaying, Leaundra met the men nearby and drove them back to the home where she picked them up from. After arguing over the 911 call and telling her sister exactly what to say, Leaundra reportedly told her sister Lemae to wait until they got back to the house to call 911. Leaundra was found guilty of second-degree hit. She was acquitted of first-degree hit and conspiracy. Leaundra's attorney told reporters that they would be appealing her conviction. They claimed that Leaundra was acting in self-defense, stating that Christian had threatened to harm Leaundra and her daughter that night. They also stated that Christian and their stepbrother said they would do unspeakable things to Leaundra and her daughter. The defense claimed that Leaundra suffered at the hands of Christian for many years and was diagnosed with PTSD by a doctor from the defense. However, that evidence was not admissible during the trial. Leaundra, now 25, is scheduled to be sentenced in January 2024. She faces up to 30 years in prison. As for Daniel Howard, now 27, his trial is set for April 2024. He is innocent until proven guilty. Lemae will be sentenced after Daniel's trial. May Christian Matthews' soul continue to rest in peace. My well wishes and condolences to the family. This case was a lot to unpack. I can't imagine the toll it has taken on the family, and the heartbreaking fact that Leaundra and Tyshawn's 2 children now have to grow up without their mother and father present. I don't know if the allegations Leaundra made against Christian are true or not. In Lemae's statement, she said the beef was over Leaundra's baby father, Tyshawn. Tyshawn and Leaundra are saying that the threats Christian made are the reason why they plotted to take his life. It's alleged that the role Daniel played was holding Christian down while Tyshawn took him out. He will have his day in court soon. It's really a lot. Initially, it was only Tyshawn who was convicted, and he took sole responsibility for Christian's slaying. It's crazy how everything all unfolded, especially with Leaundra's confession to her mother. Yeah, this is a wild story with so many layers and elements to it. But it all boils down to how anger can cause nothing but turmoil. Fam, tell me your thoughts on this in the comments below. Alright fam, that's it for this episode of Hood Tales. Thank you all so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. This is your girl, Mrs. Tony 2 Times, and I'm out.